I'm Melinda Marquardt and I am the founder and designer of The Veil London. I did a video presentation of the Beaufort collection last Friday, and a couple of people have asked me to send it to them so they can forward to their customers and have a live line showing. So I've decided to record it and put it on Instagram Live, and also feel free to forward it to anybody that you would like to show the collection to. So the Beaufort collection came out last week in showrooms across the United States and Europe. And it's 4 color palettes: Haze, which is a very soft pink; Tranquil, which is a soft blue, spa-like qualities; the Pristine colorway, which is cream beige, very soft neutral palette; and Charcoal gray, which is self-explanatory. I'm gonna start with the pink color palette. This is a very wallpaper focused collection because I was so excited about the new ground cloths that were available to me for designing. This is a linen ground, so you may be able to see that texture there. And this pattern is called Florentine Zag in color Haze. The design influence came from the ceilings of the chapels in Florence. I went on a trip around Florence with an art historian. We went into a lot of the chapels, and a lot of the ceiling illustrations were extremely interesting to me. And I brought my sketchbook and I started sketching all sorts of motifs from the churches, and this was derived from that. I have a beautiful cotton. It's 100% cotton. It's called Painted Striae. You can see the full repeat here. It goes pink to cream. Everything in the collection is all natural. I like to work with sustainable mills, and by using all natural materials, that means that there is less wastage when people do eventually dispose of the textiles, even though they are designed to last a very long time. One day, they will go into a landfill, and polyester, acrylic, all those types of things aren't great for the environment. So the Veil aims to provide all natural fibers. Also, the mills that I work with also dispose of their inks in a sustainable way. And also they only use natural dyes and inks. This is pattern Darling. You can see it's on that linen paper again. In the darker color palettes, you can see the design a little bit better, which I'll show you in a second. So these are illustrations of different flowers in here. We have peonies, we have dahlias, and what else do we have? Roses. This is sold by the meter or the yard. This is Veil Stripe. And Veil Stripe has a beautiful sheen to it. It's 100% cotton, comes in 9 colors, and this is the Haze colorway. In different lights, it catches different areas of the stripe. The original design was in the chocolate colorway because it was based on a visit to a coffee bean plantation that I went to in Tanzania. And I was in the plantation, and there was a chair that was striped, and on top of the chair was a bunch of little coffee beans, and that's where the inspiration came from this. And I will be adding a lot of new colorways to this in every collection going forward, as it is a staple. This is one of my absolute favorite fabrics of all time. This is Agnello, which is a boucle. It is all natural fiber, so it has linen, cotton, a little bit of viscose. What else is in there? The reason that it has that beautiful sheen to it is because of a little bit of viscose yarn coming through it. It's a beautiful hand. That's Agnello in color Haze. This is Timeless Linen. This is a very popular one in the collection because it's so versatile. It can be used for upholstery and drapery, anything you like in the house. It has a beautiful and delicate slub throughout. You can see that in this light. This is color Haze. I'll show you the full color palette at the end. It is, again, suitable for upholstery, and it's 30,000 Martindale, 100% linen, and it's washable. Great for slip covers. Then we have a very cool fabric called Serpent Scale. This is from a beautiful Belgian linen mill, so it's the best quality linen you can buy. And then this design, it's called Serpent Scale, and this is actually laser burnt into the surface of the piece dyed linen. And then on top of that, there's a very delicate wax chintz, so it's all natural. You can see how it moves in the light. That is a drapery product. To coordinate, I made a beautiful embroidery with that Florentine zag. It's a little bit larger scale, which I thought was more appropriate for drapery, which this will be used for. It's got a very thick embroidered area, so it almost comes across like a crewel, and it's fun and modern and whimsical. Okay, this is one of the most fun patterns in the collection. This is Part d'Estoile. Part d'Estoile has a lot of different illustrations in it. It has ink drawings, watercolors of peonies, tulips, and panthers and snakes. The inspiration comes from Greek mythology, where panthers are protectors of the home and snakes are the symbol of medicine. So it's all about protecting your home and your space. To coordinate with the Part d'Estoile, I also created just a plain heathered background so that you can mix and match those together. You can have one panel just plain and then have the very busy wallpaper sort of framing a door or a mirror or whatever you want to do with it. Just a handy design tool for you. I also created a very fluffy trim called Le Flouf, and this is color Haze. It's extremely thick and it has a lustrous finish to it. You can see here that it's very, very fluffy. A lot of designers, I noticed, were asking for a doubled up trim, so they didn't have to actually buy double the trim, and we actually doubled up around the cushions. This one is extremely thick and luxurious and comes in every color palette in both the Oakley and the Beaufort collection. Okay. So you noticed that I had some coordinating wallpapers for the Florentine zag. I also have a coordinating wallpaper in the Serpent Scale Haze. This is printed on a mica, so in certain lights it has a very, very subtle shimmer, and then in the shade it actually is a little bit more flat, so it's just a bit more of a dynamic wallpaper. Mica is a mineral found in the earth, and it's crushed on the surface of this non-woven paper, and installs all of my non-woven wallpapers install almost seamlessly. They're very high quality papers, easy up, easy down. To tie the pink and the tranquil colorways together, I created Diana stripe. It is washable, it is suitable for upholstery, and it has every single color palette in the Beaufort collection to tie it all together. It's just a fun and whimsical stripe. Okay. 100% linen. Okay. So veil stripe in Tranquil. Actually, this is a great colorway and good lighting to see what I mean about the change in the different lights on the stripe. So I actually originally hand painted this using watercolors, and then I sent the watercolor illustration to the mill, and they actually did different directions of weaving in order to create that line variation. So you can see it's a little bit darker up here and then it gets light again. That's due to the direction of the weave, and it just gives it a more dynamic and luxurious finish. This is the painted strié in the Tranquil, suitable for upholstery. In this colorway, it's very soothing and looks really beautiful, mixed and matched with the pink colorways as well as everything in the Tranquil color palette. It's 22,000 Martindale. Show you. It's a nice upholstery for residential. Here's Timeless Linen again in the Tranquil color palette. You can see that beautiful heathered finish. And Agnella Boucle in the Tranquil. This has a little bit more gray in it, so you can use it with your gray color palettes or with your soft blue color palettes. Very versatile. And the Serpent Scale in Tranquil. Again, that laser burnt design into the surface just makes it that little bit more luxurious. A beautiful drapery. Okay. And in that soft blue Tranquil, we have Florentine Zag embroidery again to coordinate with all of these. Have the beautiful wallpaper. This is the Darling. You can see that design a little bit better. It is supposed to be very subtle, perfect for bedrooms or your home spa. And that is 28 inches or 72 centimeters wide. So it's quite a wide wallpaper, and it's 100% linen. And the Serpent Scale in the Tranquil. You see what I mean when it hits the light. It's just very dynamic. It's beautiful. And Florentine Zag in Tranquil as well. And that's on that linen ground. Where are we? Okay. To coordinate and bring some intensity into that blue color palette, the Pardestoile is in a much more intense blue color called Poseidon. And then within each of the flowers, you can see the Tranquil color palette coming through. So you can mix and match all of these together. I think our pile is getting a little bit high. I'm gonna move that over. There we go. All right. And to coordinate with that beautiful Poseidon Pardestoile, this is actually my very favorite color of Veil Stripe because it really looks like water in certain lights, and it has really deep, dark tones of that Poseidon color palette and charcoal gray. Okay. All right, we're in the neutrals now. This pattern, Tasselberry, was in the original Oakley collection, and people loved it so much I added a neutral color palette to it. I'll bring it a little bit closer for you. Hold on. Do you see that it has that foiled ground behind the sisal? So it is all hand woven sisal wallpaper, and then it is digitally printed in Europe, and it is the best digital printing mill that I work with. They, especially with textured grounds, they are really, really talented. So you can see that every single detail of my original drawings and paintings are in here. I'm trying to create artwork for your home. Okay. And to coordinate, we have the cream color of Painted Strié, that's color Pristine. And of course, just the linen in white, Timeless Linen in Pristine. And the best, the most luxurious boucle in Pristine. You can see just how thick and sumptuous this is. And in the neutral, we have the Florentine Zag on that linen. These all paired together would make for a very luxurious and fun bedroom. I pulled this out from the Oakley collection because it coordinates so well into the Beaufort collection. This is marble tile in cream. And if you look closely, you can see that it is on mica and it has shades of gold and silver and bronze and also cream. It looks beautiful with that boucle. And the serpent scale in pristine. Very soft, neutral palette. Okay. Here is that serpent scale linen, again, that laser burnt design. This is the reverse, which you can actually use as well. It's very luxurious linen. There we go. And in pristine, the Florentine Zag crewel embroidery. You can see. It's got a neutral ground instead of a white ground. I just thought the white embroidery really popped on that neutral ground. And here is Darling wallpaper in the pristine. Very soft. If you wanted to see how that repeat works, you can actually just go to the website and there's room set photography. It's www.theveillondon.co.uk and just go to the Beaufort collection, click on Darling, and there's full room photography for you to see how that works. Okay, moving into the dark charcoals. A moodier color palette, much more intense. That's the Painted Stray 100% cotton upholstery fabric, well, multi-purpose. And the Florentine Zag in charcoal. That you can see the mottled background a little bit more clearly in the darker palette. I think it just made it a little bit moodier and more luxurious. And my personal favorite color of Darling is the charcoal color palette. Look how intense and cool that is. I just want to see a dining room done with this with like a black lacquer ceiling. And again, you can see every single line stroke in this digital print. It really is a very special piece. And to coordinate with that, the black timeless linen. Again, you can see that very luxurious striation in there. And it is a Belgian linen, so it's the best. And veil stripe in charcoal, beautiful color. Looks really, really nice upholstered on dining room chairs. That tight upholstery looks better with this one rather than like the loose, casual upholstery for maybe like a slip cover that you would use with this linen. So if you were gonna upholster something, I would definitely do kind of dining room chairs. Some people are using it on walls, which they're backing it with wallpaper, which looks very cool and great for sound. Then we have Sayonara, which is artichokes. And this is originally a charcoal drawing. And it's again on that foiled ground with the sisal, hand-woven sisal on top of it. This is the repeat. Okay. And I also pulled out one of my favorites from the Oakley collection. This is Sugar Bush. And Sugar Bush is a gorgeous hand-guided machine embroidery, and you can see the details in here. There are 7 different types of embroidery used on this piece. It's just a gorgeous drapery product. 100% linen with the viscose embroidery on top. Lastly, I added in an oxblood color palette just for the Partist wall wallpaper. And you can mix and match this into the neutrals or the blacks, but I thought this oxblood color was just really fun and an intense, cool color palette for Part Estoile. And that coordinates beautifully with Veil Stripe in oxblood. Okay, can you see that? Ooh. There you go. Okay. So the sampling. If you are interested in getting cuttings or samples for your showroom, you just tell your local showroom or rep and they will get those sent to you. If you don't know who that is, just send me a message. That's contact@theveillondon.co.uk and I will point you in the right direction. We also do hangers. So this is a wonderful way to see all colors of something and keep it nice and neat in your library. So we have, it's 1 meter long and it's got, and you can see this full color palette of the timeless linen here. These all coordinate with the first and second collection. So it's a great one, great staple to have. And Veil Stripe. You can see all the color palettes all at once, which is wonderful. Just pull it from your shelf or hanging area. Hangers are available for all patterns. I'm just showing you an example of 2 staples that we have. I'm also want to show you some of the artwork that I made to create this collection. So for the Part Estoile that I just showed you, this is how I originally illustrated the snake. You can see it shimmer, it shines a little bit. It's because it was created using shellac inks. And when they dry, they have this beautiful finish, which I think comes across really well in the final print. And this is how I draw for the tasselberry design. Here, let me put this down a bit. So this is all pen and ink drawing in the studio. And this is one of the original drawings of the protea on the Darling wallpaper. And I individually draw all of these flowers and scan them into the computer. And then I play around with the colors and the scale, and I've just seen the final product. I will be doing more videos on Instagram Live and IGTV over the coming weeks and delving a little bit more into my process. So please follow us at The Veil London on Instagram, and you can see how I start a design and it ends up as the final product. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay inside, and hopefully when this is all over, I will be able to meet you in person. Thank you.